The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Kaufman Outdoors and The Porch in Wildwood.
Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show on this Monday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. A little rain out there this morning, also a little sticky, a little humid, but holy cow, it's going to be hot over the next few days. We're going to talk to Beckett Moore here in just a second to find out what we can expect as we go through midweek and then what it looks like as we head into next weekend. Yes, making plans for the weekend already as we hit Monday. How many of you feel a little tired today? Did you get woke up by that Amber Alert? We're going to talk about that. That's actually going to be one of our top stories first. We're going to talk about some of the things that happened this past weekend. Hopefully you saved some money with the Missouri tax-free holiday, as well as the big Jewish festival that took place. We'll see how many people turned out for that. We've got some sports news that has to do with one of our huge soccer stars, Lionel Messi, and his father. We also have a Hall of Fame football player that is announcing he has vascular dementia, and then we'll get into our National Day of Calendar. All of that on tap for you today. And then, are you like me? Do you have migraines and headaches and TMJ issues? Do you do anything about it, or do you just deal with it? Are we causing ourselves more harm? On this Medical Monday, we're going to get a chance to sit down with Dr. Jessica from Fenton Family Dentistry and her husband, Abram, as we discuss all of that. All right, let's get to this Monday. We start things off with our segment we call What the Weather.
Good evening and welcome into this new More Weather Forecast video. My name is Beck Moore.
And our segment brought to you by our friends at Fenton Family Dentistry. If you haven't been in yet, I would love for you to stop in and give them a try. 552 Old Smizer Mill Road. You can check them out at Fenton Family Dentistry on the website or on social media. 636-326-7633. And you will definitely notice a difference in the care that they have. Besides Dr. Jessica being an incredible physician, it's the entire team that really makes you feel just so at ease and so comfortable, including their dog, Augie, who is there on a regular basis. He is the director of Wonderful Smiles. All right, let's get to our weather segment with our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. First of all, good morning.
Good morning. How was your weekend?
I hope you're having a great start to your day. And I mentioned as we stepped out that it felt extremely sticky, extremely hot this morning, and just muggy. This is your final few days before you go back to school, right?
Yeah, I've just got a week left.
Oh, all right. Do you have any big plans for the final days?
I'm gonna play golf on Tuesday and just relax and really take it in the last couple days.
Yeah, I was driving by the Fenton golf course, and I was like, oh, and definitely noticing it's not as bright as it was. So a lot of people who used to play at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was still dark, and I'm like, okay, things are changing. You can definitely feel it.
For sure, yeah, people are going back.
Absolutely. Well, again, a little bit of rain this morning. Some people maybe have had a little bit more, but it's already, in the 80s or 79 or 80 degrees already?
Yep, already 80 degrees out there, which that's kind of a sign of how hot it is going to get today and these next couple of days.
Okay, well, let's find out about that. And again, when we tell you these things, please heed the warning because it's not anything to take lightly. All right, Becca, take it away.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, 80 degrees are already out there right now. We do have some scattered showers around the area. That's mainly into central and northern St. Louis County and the St. Charles County, and we're going to expect that until around noon. That should get out of here by this afternoon. 71-degree dew point, so it is pretty humid out there right now. 7-mile-per-hour winds. Our sunset tonight will be around 8 o'clock. Now, as we head into this afternoon, this is our first day of that extreme heat warning, which lasts through Wednesday night. Mostly cloudy skies, but our high there, 97 degrees. So this is extreme heat. Of course, our heat index will be well above 100, probably above 105 degrees. So this is one of those days where you're going to want to limit time outside. If you are doing strenuous activities, definitely want to limit those. And if you have to be doing that, take frequent breaks inside, hydration breaks, wear sunscreen, check on the elderly, pets. Of course, all of those precautions we especially think about on these days when we have those extremely hot temperatures. 80 degrees is our low tonight and tomorrow night. 98 degrees for your high tomorrow, and sunny skies. So we're talking about more of a sunny day tomorrow, which we're will only elevate those heat risks. And again, we're going to be looking at, limiting those strenuous activities and hydrating and wearing sunscreen, especially since it's going to be sunny tomorrow. 95 degrees, mostly sunny skies, but we do expect some showers as we head into Wednesday. That'll continue into Thursday, but eventually that's when our extreme warning does expire Wednesday night. So 90 degrees on Thursday, 89 on Friday, mostly cloudy skies. And then as we head towards this weekend, again, looking around average 90 degrees as our highs for Saturday and Sunday. But this 3-day stretch is really what I want you guys to focus on here, because this is what we're talking about with that extreme heat that can be dangerous, of course.
Absolutely. So again, we always say check on the elderly. Please keep those animals inside. If they're doing exercising, exactly the thing that we were mentioning earlier, get out early, but wear reflective vests. I'm going to add that in because it is still a little bit dark around 5 and 6 o'clock. So have the reflective vest on or have those lights on, maybe on a helmet if you're biking, etc. So Beckett, thank you so much. Enjoy your final week before you head back to school next week.
Thank you. See you on Friday.
Okay, everybody. Beckett Moore kicking things off with our weather this morning. Now, as I mentioned, did you get woke up overnight because of that Amber Alert? Well, was the whole thing a hoax? That's what they're talking about. Was it fabricated? A report triggering the Amber Alert that woke all of us up overnight. They said it was a 1-year-old boy originally believing that he was in danger. A 25-year-old mother is in custody now. Police said she falsely reported that her son was missing, triggering that alert that prompted a multi-agency search overnight. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department said the woman called authorities about 10:30 in the evening, claiming her child was inside a vehicle stolen from a gas station over on Shoto Avenue. The Amber Alert then issued shortly thereafter. The man identified as the alleged suspect then called 911 himself, telling police there was no child in his car and that he intended to surrender to police. St. Charles police located the car near 370 and North 3rd Street. After detaining the man and questioning him, law enforcement discovered that the child was never inside the vehicle at all and that the mother did not own the car she reported as stolen. Investigators said the two individuals knew each other. The mother's account was entirely fabricated. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office confirmed the 1-year-old boy was physically safe and never in danger. The search drew resources from the Highway Patrol, the FBI, municipalities all across St. Louis and St. Charles County. Just think about the amount of work, the amount of money that was spent in putting all of this into a search from multiple agencies. The mother, again, taken into custody for allegedly knowingly making a false report that triggered that alert. The city said they thanked the East St. Louis Police Department and Granite City Police Department for their assistance as well. So I was asking Zach when he came in this morning, did you get woke up by that Amber Alert? And he's like, oh no. So I know it was at least into those two areas of Illinois. Let me know. Did you get that overnight? Were you, upset by it? Did it wake up your sleep? I was a little groggy. It definitely messed up my rhythm of trying to stay asleep, but glad to hear that everything is okay. And again, evidently nothing at all in the beginning. Now, you know the song, Sammy Hagar, I Can't Drive 55. Well, how about I Can't Drive 75? Yeah, they're talking about making the changes in the state of Missouri, but here is what you need to know. A new law going into effect later this month will allow the state to raise the maximum speed limit to 75 miles per hour on select highways. Now, the Highway Commission in Missouri will have the authority to raise that limit by 5 miles per hour on interstates 35, 44, 55, and 70 starting August 28th. Urban areas with posted speed limits currently under 70 miles per hour will be permitted to keep those lower limits, and it does not automatically raise the speed limit, by the way. The current limit on most parts of the Missouri interstate system is 70 miles per hour, and there's one trooper that said drivers most often exceed that, as we know, by a modest margin. More frequently, they say they see a range between 5 to 10 over the posted speed limit. Again, I stress, this is not an immediate, and there are some highways where this will not go into effect. So we will follow that, and as we get closer to August 28th, I will bring you an update. Did you save some money this past weekend? I was telling you a couple of weeks ago, we told you last week, days leading up to the tax-free holiday weekend. Many parents, of course, take advantage of that as they buy their kids their back-to-school supplies, but you didn't have to have a kid in order to save money. The tax-free weekend delivered a sales boost. That's the great news for a lot of retailers. There was a story done by our friends over at KMOV talking to different retailers that said the results were amazing. They sold the clothes for cash and purchased items in the store. They saw sales reach nearly triple the typical Sunday figures during the tax-free weekend. Again, that was for some of the retailers. Under Missouri law, 3 categories of items qualified for the exemption: clothing, personal computers and such devices like laptops, desktops, etc., and then school supplies like the notebooks and the paper, the instruments, the art supplies, the book bags. If you didn't get a chance to take advantage of it, you missed out. You'll have to wait until next year. Well, in St. Charles, they were pretty busy. The annual Jewish festival was held. Did you get a chance to go to it? If not, let me know, by the way, what did you do this weekend? As you can see, there were tons of people at the Jewish festival on Sunday. Live music, kosher food, cultural experiences. It was held in St. Charles County at the Jewish Center, and I hope you had a chance to go to that. If you didn't, as I mentioned, what did you do this past weekend? Okay. This I always love. You'll look up into the sky and you see the Perseid meteor shower. Always, sometimes people say, how did I miss it? When is it? Here is the breakdown of what you need to know. It's going to be a beautiful light display. The peak will be Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and it coincides with a total solar eclipse across Spain, Iceland, and Greenland, and a 6-planet parade, though the best time to view the fireballs will come after totality. The Perseid Summer Light Show is back, and again, viewing conditions especially promising for the northern hemisphere. Always absolutely beautiful to see. To spot them, go outside after dark, away from the clouds and the city lights. Again, depending on where you are in our world, it might be easier to see than others. The best views, again, between midnight and dawn when the constellation Perseus is high in the northern sky. The meteors will appear to radiate from that constellation. It's really cool to watch. All right, this is the story I couldn't wait to talk about today. If you have kids and you're a parent, please, in the comment section, tell me what you would have done with this. So it's a late night flight, and I understand that the kid's probably very sleepy, groggy, and just not wanting to cooperate. But a flight, folks, was canceled altogether when this child that was standing in his seat refused to put on his seatbelt. So what do you do? This is the most interactive question I have for you before we get into our Medical Monday. What do you do as a parent to get your kid to get out of the seat, first of all, standing in the seat, sit him down, and get his seatbelt on? According to a spokesperson for Porter Airlines, which is in British Columbia, it did not take off. It was scheduled for 11:03 p.m. Pacific time. They said that the plane couldn't take off with the child unbuckled, obviously for safety reasons. However, how did the parents and the entire crew not get a chance to just take this kid, sit him down, and get that seatbelt on and get out of the way? They had to get a pedestrian bridge to the plane, remove the child, their parents, get their bags, refile the paperwork. That, of course, takes time. By the time it was all said and done, it was 12:30 in the morning, and that's when the airport's runway closes for the night. Porter Airlines apologized for the effect it had on the passengers, and the other passengers were able to fly out finally on Friday. But look, we're talking about people that maybe have a connecting flight. They're expecting to get to their location. Maybe they had something planned already for the early day or even lunchtime hours, and it all gets canceled because the kid can't get his seatbelt on. How do the parents not get, I don't know. This is the craziest story for me, that you can't get that kid. You just take him, sit him down, and put his seatbelt on. And maybe the old school, give him a little spanking, right? I don't think that's what parents are doing anymore. We are all well behaved because we had that. Tell me in the comment section, what do you feel about that story? I would be so upset if I was impacted by that. And it was all, you don't know right away what is canceling a flight, and you find out that the kid couldn't get his seatbelt on. That's ridiculous. All right, in sports news, first of all, we all watched the World Cup. It was just absolutely amazing. And this particular man, most people had, if you were going to airports or anywhere, they had his name on the back of their jersey. Messi, Messi, Messi. Well, now we're sending prayers to him. His father, Jorge, passed away. He was also his longtime agent. He was 68. They announced his death in a social media post that said he had undergone treatment in recent months for an unspecified illness. The pillar and the person who, with vision, rigor, and affection, supported the career of the best player of all time. And now we're sending our thoughts and prayers out to Lionel Messi for the loss of his father. Also, prayers are going out to Roger Craig. He revealed he has vascular dementia during his Pro Football Hall of Fame speech. It was a 9-minute speech, and it wasn't until about the 8th-minute mark when he announced, quote, "I have vascular dementia, and it may be related, at least in part, to the concussions he experienced during his playing career." Well, the St. Louis Cardinals, with a win, they beat the Colorado Rockies 7-4 yesterday. It's going to be a hot one at Busch Stadium tonight. The Phillies come to town playing the Cardinals. First pitch at 6:45. All right, time for our National Day of Calendar. With how hot it is, I do not correlate hot weather and s'mores. Tell me, when you think of s'mores, do you think of fall? That's what I think. Sitting around a bonfire, and you definitely don't want to do a bonfire right now. National Lazy Day, National S'mores Day, Agent Orange Awareness Day. It is National Connecticut Day and National Shapewear Day. But it is also ongoing national weeks. We have National Bargain Hunting Week. We've been telling you that it's National Dog Month, Back to School Month, Wellness Month. We have a global observance as well. Roar! It is World Lion Day. All right, folks, there you go. On this Monday, all up to date on things that we consider, again, news you can use. Let me go to the comments. Kristen said, I woke up with the Amber Alert. Frustrating that it was fabricated. A lot of wasted resources. Amen to that. Rose said she was woke up by it as well. Let me know if you were. Good morning to all of you. And again, please do me a favor. Weigh in and tell me what you think of that crazy story about how you would have had to disembark the plane, cancel your plane altogether, your flight altogether, all because the kid couldn't get that seatbelt on. The parents, I should say, couldn't get the kid's seatbelt on. How silly and how frustrating. All right, we're going to take our break. When we come back, we're going to start, first of all, with Dr. Jessica from Fenton Family Dentistry. We get to sit down and visit with her. If all of you that are watching have had issues grinding your teeth, TMJ, you've got headaches, neck pain, do you have cardiovascular disease, you have organ issues, do you know that it all could be linked to your mouth? We're going to talk about that first with Dr. Jessica, and then her husband, Abraham Whitehead, joins us as well on this Medical Monday. Stay tuned.
Most places you walk into, you look around, you nod, not here. You could try anything. Woo! Only 3 minutes in here, I'm already gassed. Check this bad boy out. It's a swim spa. Let's go. This is called the Sweaty Goat. This is where I get my demons out. Whether it's a hot tub, a swim spa, a sauna, or a cold tub, you come in here and you could try it and you pick what you want. That's Spas and More STL. And tell them Cam sent you.
Well, good morning. We are so excited. We get a little time with Dr. Jessica from Fenton Family Dentistry. We'll be visiting with her husband, Abram, here in just a second. How are you? You and Augie.
Hello, good morning.
I love that Augie is with you. And can I just say, we've been talking about how Augie will calm you and he'll jump on your lap if you want to. He did that with me when I came in, and it was the coolest experience. It really is something you have to experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of your patients absolutely adore him.
Yeah, they totally adore him. I mean, even now, Augie next to me, because I have a little nervousness talking, you know, in front of the camera, in public, and Augie just there.
He's there to calm you.
Any patient that walks in.
It's very, very cool. Folks, if you haven't been in, by the way, you got to get in. I love for those of you that have reached out to me and said, wait a minute, this looks like the coolest place. I want to go there too. Yes, you do. That is the answer. So Fenton Family Dentistry, and this will be your dentist. How many people do you have on your team?
How many people? 10, 12.
10 to 12?
Yeah, 10, 12. 2 part-timers.
They are all incredible, by the way. They all have beautiful smiles.
Yeah, yeah.
And rightfully so. So if you have not had a chance to see our past shows, then I encourage you to go back into our YouTube channel so you can check it out. But again, this is where they're located, on Old Smizer Mill Road, 552 Old Smizer Mill Road in Fenton, at Fenton Family Dentistry on social media, and FentonFamilyDentistry.com. But this is your physician. What do you love most? We talked a little bit about this the first time you came in. What is it that makes you have so much passion that you can't wait to get in the very next day, the next day, the next day?
I just love being around people and helping them achieve a smile. I love working with my team. I love working with people. I love helping people. Just make sure they're healthy and happy. I really love dentistry. I cannot imagine doing anything else.
And you've been doing it for how many years again?
I graduated 25 years ago.
Oh, my
So
Lord.
this past April was my 25th dental school reunion.
Well,
And it's like,
congrats.
whoa, 25 years go by so fast. And
You don't
because
look
I had
25.
so much fun. So the
You
years
know-
just fly back. 25 years. Wow, I'm an old fart.
I'm an old fart. But look at you. You're so youthful. And when you love what you do, it keeps you feeling young, right?
Yeah.
And you get to work with a dog every day. I mean, come on, that's super cool. As I mentioned, folks, I had a chance to go in and I had a chance to experience it firsthand. So I have to thank Abram. He had told me, like, Monica, come on in. Let's check out what's been going on. I've been grinding my teeth at night. I can feel it. I can feel it in my jaw. And you actually were saying, yeah, Monica, let's feel. Let's see what's going on with this. You said you could feel it in it, right?
Yeah. I was able to evaluate you and see how your jaw alignment is and your habits. And I can see evidence that you're clenching and grinding. You got those strong jaw muscles
Yes.
that are overactivated. And I was able to find a solution to help you minimize your habit of clenching and grinding.
Yeah, so as people are watching this, Dr. Jessica, show them what we're looking at here, because your team was able to do this really cool 3D effect, and it was very quick to get you everything that you're looking at. So break this down for us.
It is it called a scan, a wellness scan, and kind of evaluates how your gums are, how your teeth is hitting together, and see how your teeth, healthy your teeth is, if you have a lot of wear and tear or cavities or dental work done. It see the overall picture of your gum and your teeth and your alignment.
And what we found, there were areas that would show up red, where I evidently am grinding more. Then there might have been like yellow or green. So we broke down, and again, folks, by the way, I'm okaying that you all can see this from a HIPAA standpoint. I'm giving this to you because I like to be real. We discussed what could be done. And I was saying, okay, well, maybe we do a guard. But Dr. Jessica, can you talk about how what you're doing for me is very different from someone just running into like a Walgreens or a CVS and buying some $20 guard?
Yeah, I mean, for you, Monica, I can see that your alignment is kind of off. You're hitting more on the right. Then is that right? And
Yep.
you indicated you had some kind of trauma that kind of made your teeth a little bit out of alignment.
I was in a car accident, yes, almost 4 or 5 years ago. So everything right side, and I had no idea that it was also up in this, everything right side is affected.
Yes, I can see that on the alignment. Your skin.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
we discussed you doing a custom guard for me,
Yeah.
but talk about how that's different from someone just saying, well, Dr. Jessica, couldn't I just go into like a pharmacy and just buy one off the shelf? How different is it?
That type of retainer that occlusal guard that I recommended for you is custom made.
Yeah.
And it fits the top and bottom. And it's very thin and very rigid. And it's very, very comfortable. And it really tightly fits your teeth and really protects your teeth from wear. It is so much different than going to the pharmacy and getting those off the shelf, mold at home guide, because it won't be as custom fitting, and you may likely not want to wear them. Be
Right?
less compliant in wearing them because they're bulky, they're not comfortable, and they're cheap. And they're-
Exactly. And you know what? And Abram said, Monica, and you know, you're going to want to make sure that once you have this one we're making for you, that you put it away, because for some reason he said dogs like to use them as toys.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple of mine chewed up.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So if I were to make you a occlusal guard, you will have 4 sets. So you have extra in case anything happens.
Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking with Dr. Jessica from Fenton Family Dentistry, and this was my visit where we could, you know, again, we were breaking down, and look at Augie, how calm he was keeping me. doing his
Yeah.
job, working hard for us. Look at him. He is so very cool. I just love this. Okay, now
He's so
I do want
chill.
to.
Yeah.
He's so chill. He was beautiful. I do want to say for anybody else that's going through this, if they let this go, this constant grinding, the tightness, the TMJ that's being created, if they let that go and didn't have you or someone that's working with them take care of it, what are the long-term effects of that?
The long-term consequences, if not being treated, you can have more wear and tear, more dental work because you're breaking your teeth.
Yep.
Like crowns and fillings, you have a higher risk of many more dental work in the future.
In the future, and it would be much more expensive in the future. So you're trying to be, one, preventative, or two, to catch something early?
Yes.
Now, what we discussed a couple of different things. We're going to go in this direction, but you also mentioned, and for those who don't know about Invisalign, will you tell them about that again? You actually did say, Monica, you might be a candidate for this. I said maybe not right now, but it's something we can continue to revisit because I don't want that long-term issue to be a problem.
Yes.
If I went the route of Invisalign, what would that look like?
It will look, the Invisalign for you, Monica, it will upright your teeth. These teeth kind of collapse over the years.
Yep.
So it kind of went into more of a non-functional alignment. So for you, I will upright your teeth and have it in proper position so your teeth fit together like a puzzle and not break any more teeth and wear any more teeth.
So again, it is all dependent upon what it is that is right for you at that moment, but also letting the team from Fenton Family Dentistry guide you to say, this is clearly what we're seeing. And we're going to look at it a little bit more as Abram continues to visit with us in studio. We'll go really close in to where we can see what is being done. But I just want to tell you thank you because, again, I wasn't even aware I was doing it, but I've been waking up going, oh my gosh, what is wrong with my jaw? And clearly it's the fact that I don't know if I am designing while I'm sleeping, if I am working on, you know how it is. All of us that are like type A, go, 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 we can't completely sleep at night. We're thinking.
It's the unknown, you know about it. And it's so common. I mean, TMJ, they can also affect your overall being because you have migraines, you have headaches, you have stress, heaviness. So it can be overall.
Yeah. And your team told me that you see it in a lot of entrepreneurs.
I'm sorry?
In entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Your team said, well, because there's nobody you're working for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So,
I see that, yeah. Like a self-employed. Because you have more pressure, more stress, and more on our plate. I mean, you can relate. I can relate.
Yes, you can. Yes. So that's the thing is for anyone that's feeling like, wait a minute, that's resonating with me. I feel like that's me. I need to get in. You've got people of all ages. I loved when I came in and I was able to see, I think this was one of your staff members' kids and how cute and adorable he was when I came in, right? Right here.
Yeah.
And again, there's an entire team.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so cute. An entire team that's there to work for you at Fenton Family Dentistry. I also love that you dropped off at the club where we are at Adventure Unknown some of the made by dentists toothpaste. I grabbed one and I've been using it and I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very passionate about it because it's the best product out there, and it's made by dentists. It's not corporate who's looking to make money. It's real, honest product with real ingredient.
Absolutely. And by the way, that last shot of the door are all the testimonials of people that have been in. So one more time, it is Fenton Family Dentistry. This is your dentist. I want to get a chance to have you greet her, meet her as often as you possibly can. But she's busy, right? She's seeing patients at 7 o'clock in the morning a lot. Fenton Family Dentistry at 552 Old Smizer Mill Road in Fenton. Again, check them out also online at Fenton Family Dentistry on social media and at FentonFamilyDentistry.com as well. I know you got a lot of patients to see, Jessica, so I love the fact that we took some time together. By the way, we need to relax up at the club again.
Yeah.
All right, give my love to your team and tell them thank you, and we will do a follow-up when mine comes in so I can tell everybody.
Yes, I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to have this relax.
Oh, it'll be much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody,
I
stay
love that.
tuned. This is Dr. Jessica again with Fenton Family Dentistry. We're going to visit with her husband, Abram, when we return. Thanks, Jessica.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a good week.
Bye. Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. And isn't she just adorable? Absolutely loved having Dr. Jessica on. Normally, she has to get straight to her patients at 7 o'clock. So we did that over the weekend so that she could be a part of the show. And if by chance you have something that you would like for her to cover on a future Medical Monday, let us know. Just shoot me an email at info@therealmonicaadams.com. So we go from Dr. Jessica to her husband, Abram. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see you as well, Monica.
So did you have a good weekend? Anything fun?
Oh, I had a great weekend. The kids were super busy. They went to the Muni last night for
Meet Me in
the
St.
Meet
Louis?
Me in St. Louis production. So
How
that was
was it?
awesome.
I missed it, unfortunately. I was supposed to go on Friday, and you know how my crazy schedule is. We couldn't go.
Yeah.
Have you seen it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a delightful production.
Fireworks at the end? Did they?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Because I saw some.
We may have left a little early.
I think they do. I saw some footage from opening night, and I think you did leave early. You missed fireworks.
I'm like, we're beating the traffic. You know, the classic dad moment. Dang it, kids, we're out of here. We're beating the traffic. So
You're one of those.
Yeah,
They say
I-
don't leave
yeah,
until
I
the
know.
very end. Something Rotten, by the way, is at the Muni next week, and that is the final production of the Muni for this summer. Yeah, I love
it's
the
come
Muni.
and gone. Summer is just zipped right by. Oh,
Your kids, again, are how old?
17, 15, 12, and 10.
Yeah, a beautiful family. So before we get into the rest of our medical talk, I want to know, because I'm not a parent, but I just cannot imagine that you can't control your children. In the news, we did the story about the kid. And again, we are missing one very important element. I don't know how old this kid was.
Yeah.
I don't know. You brought up a good point. I don't know if the kid had some kind of a medical condition. He was standing, and I'm saying he. Let's just say the child. The child was standing in the seat. They could not get the child buckled up, which obviously from a safety reason you can't take off. But I'm sorry, how can you not as a parent get your kid to sit its butt down and put its seatbelt on? And if you can't, how can you and the crew together not?
I don't know if y'all can see this face right now, and this is just how we parent, but Monica asked me this question earlier. I said, it would just take the look. And if you've ever gotten the look from your parents, you know. So that's just kind of how we roll. But, you know, like parenting's really hard. Sometimes kids have things or whatever. If my kid, you know, I'd be like, if that I knew that maybe that might happen, I'd be like, here's some drugs. You're going to have the best nap ever. It's going to be fantastic.
Right.
Love it.
If we knew that there was a problem child going into it, right?
I would,
Now,
yeah.
again, if you missed the beginning of the story, it was 11 o'clock at night, Pacific time. And then they ended up having to cancel the flight because it took an hour and a half to get the kid off, get the family off, get their bags off, redo the paperwork, and now it's 12:30 in the morning and the runway's closed. So you ruin every single passenger on that flight. Why couldn't they have just taken the family off and then took off?
Lord of mercy, I'm gonna tell you, that kid would get more than just the look because we'd be having some talks.
Absolutely.
We'd be having some talks. I would get off the plane. I would be so embarrassed.
Thank you.
I would. There's no way.
I would have just said, yes, we can't, let's just go.
I'm sweating just thinking about it. Okay, getting uncomfortable.
Again, feel free to drop a comment in what you have to say about that. I did see somebody earlier say parents can't control their children these days. They should have all been pulled off immediately. Amen. White, can you imagine the looks and the comments that every other passenger did to that family?
Well, you know, here's the thing. Parenting, like if you're trying to correct behavior in the moment, you've already lost.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a long process. You've got to start early
Yes.
and build expectations about what proper behavior is, and have no bones about it. So
I just love, again, I'm very big into interacting, so feel free to keep dropping comments in throughout the show, or if you watch this later on replay. That was my craziest story of the day. Okay, so we have some footage that your team, thank you to your entire team, took when I went to Fenton Family Dentistry, and I'm trying to figure out why in the world, first of all, I'm grinding my teeth so bad. And they looked at, and I think it's fascinating what you're able to do. I mean, we were just talking about technology and how far we've come. So in this, can you explain what they're doing here?
So this is a 3D scanner. It's an iTero, what's called an iTero. There's different brands of 3D scanners. That's the one that we use. And what we do is it takes a bunch of pictures of your teeth and gums, and then it kind of stitches them together into a 3D model. And that's really important because not only does it kind of get a 3D picture of your teeth and how the jaw is on the lower and on the upper, we also use it to then, when you bite down on your back teeth, we kind of scan how those teeth fit together in a natural biting position. And then it lines everything up, and it can show us about where the teeth come together in a natural biting position. And it can help us understand, is there areas of the teeth that are in what we would call a traumatic occlusion. Basically, that just means they're hitting too heavy in the wrong spots.
Okay.
And it can create damage like wear, advanced wear, chipping, cracking, breaking. And one of the things when we're talking to patients about clenching and grinding is there are several factors that typically, and I'm not a doctor, okay, you can read this on Google, okay, publicly available information, type A personalities.
Yes,
okay?
entrepreneurs, she said.
Entrepreneurs, very competitive. Stress is a typical component to clenching and grinding, but also misalignment. And misalignment comes into play. And have you ever sat in a chair that's uncomfortable?
Sure.
Like really uncomfortable? What do you do when you sit in that?
Squirm
You're
around.
Like,
Yeah.
trying to find that right spot,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's what your jaw does. And so if your teeth are in a little bit of a misalignment, your jaw is going to get really active to force them into a spot. So that's one of the reasons we look at that. Also, airway is another factor that can contribute to clenching and grinding.
So like
believe it or
leading
not.
to sleep apnea?
Yeah. As it turns out, when you clench your teeth, you'll find that your airway, your tongue becomes a little bit more floor of mouth, and your kind of esophagus kind of tightens up, and it opens the airway. So if you've got sleep apnea, that is one thing that the body will do when the airway kind of closes and you're like super snoring, and you stop breathing, the body will actually kind of clench its teeth to open up the airway.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Abraham Whitehead, he is the husband to Dr. Jessica at Fenton Family Dentistry. And we have been talking over the last couple of months about how everything starts right here in our mouth. There are so many levels of issues that you could have if you're not taking control of or letting them take control of what is happening. We mentioned cardiovascular problems. We mentioned organ issues. All of that. I saw a physician that is an orthopedic surgeon that's doing like these doctor informs, right? And he was like, I want to work hand in hand with those that are dentists, anybody that's working with the mouth, to have us work together to say, this is what needs to be done, so that we're preventing maybe, or at least catching something early, which is what's happening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's cancer, Alzheimer's, heart disease, stroke, diabetes. I mean, pretty much any ailment that you can think of in the body. This is a gross overgeneralization, but, we're consuming everything that's happening here.
Yes.
And there's a lot of blood flow in our gums. And so everything that's there kind of introduces itself to the rest of the system. And cortisol levels, glycemic responses are all now starting to get a lot more understanding in academics around what's happening in your oral health.
Right, yeah, right. I mean, what we're taking in, what we're doing with our mouth, and then as well, what we are breathing in, all the toxins that are in the air. I mean, just think about all of those things. I don't think people think those levels. So, as you were seeing, they were taking all of that, and then it fascinating me how quickly they were like, okay, boom, now look at this. And when Dr. Jessica came in, by the way, after your team did their work, we started looking at the different colors that showed up on the screen. And obviously, when we see red, it stops. Like, think about when you're driving. You're supposed to stop at a red light. You're not supposed to go zooming through it. But the red, if that's showing up, not necessarily the best thing. So, as your team was breaking things down for me, there are many things that you can see. We eventually looked at where the grinding aspect is. But if you, by the way, are watching and you're like, okay, this is fascinating, my doctors aren't doing this, well, that's probably why I want you to change. You can go to Fenton Family Dentistry, again, on Old Smizer Mill Road. Check them out. They do some really cool things on social media as well, at Fenton Family Dentistry, or on the website, fentonfamilydentistry.com. Okay, so Abram, let's break down these different videos that we have. And your team was, once we did all of that, then they're like, boom, here you go, Monica. Here's what we can see.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is that when we've got those areas where we can tell that they're, think of it, we call it the weather map. You know, the red, the blue, the green. So if you looked at a weather map and you're like, oh man, here's a storm coming.
Dead air.
You definitely do not want to be in the red.
So it's going to show us
right?
a whole bunch of different viewpoints. But
green, blues, yellows, not too bad. But once you hit the red,
you have a lot of red
it's heavy duty.
And
so there's some things that we look at that when you train to do this, you know, it's a lot more obvious to you. But it seems maybe like Greek language to other people. But when we have heavy wear on the front of our teeth, that's usually an indication that our bite isn't set up correctly. And so the front teeth aren't really designed to absorb constant impact. They're designed to be used as like scissors, if you will, when needed. And so when you do that, if you think about biting something with your front teeth, you have to kind of move your jaw forward, like you're like open up a bag of chips, which you should never do.
I got in trouble by my husband. He goes, Monica, what are you doing? What? I got to get it open.
I know. Yeah. So you kind of have to slide it forward. So it shouldn't be there naturally. Otherwise, you just wear them down too fast. It'd be like using scissors to pound in a nail. Like you would ruin your scissors.
Right.
And so those are some aspects there that we look at. But another aspect of the scan too is we can go from the weather map, and I'm not sure that the video shows it, but there's an area where we can actually turn it to like a virtual stone model.
Not straight.
Where
a little bit
it's
here and there, but overall you have a very pretty
and
smile,
what
very
that can
put
allow
together.
us to do
right.
is to see
No
the changes
braces.
in shape of the teeth.
It's just
And
these
so,
minor things.
that
So
becomes
we're
very
just a little
important
twisted,
because
That's
not only are we seeing the weather map, so we can see where the teeth are really close together, too close, but then you turn on the monochromatic view, and typically you can see a parallel between where it's red on the weather map and where you're seeing the changes in shape of your teeth because of that wear.
Yes, so she had changed it to, here, let's look at this.
Yep.
Yeah, right, so that's more like, it looked like you have stone teeth.
Yep. Yeah, and it's really easy to see those elevation changes and changes in shape. So it's really wonderful technology. You know, we use it a lot for Invisalign treatments because that's how we take impressions.
Yeah.
But really what we use it for in the practice primarily is for patient education.
Yes.
And I think one of the challenging things with dentistry, and as a patient myself, or like let's say I take my car into a dealership and they say, oh, well, you need this. And I'm like, heck, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
You know, but if they show you and they're like, you see this right here where your brakes have all these lines in it and it's really thin, and you're like, yeah. They're like, that's not good.
Right.
And then you can understand.
Well, and at that point, yes, you're armed with the information. Then it becomes, can I do this right now? Financially, can I do this right now? Or what route do I have to go? So you and I had discussed me coming in about doing a guard in the evening, right? And so there's a lot of you, and I put this in the description, there are a lot of you that are like, oh yeah, I grind my teeth, or I've been told I grind my teeth. I'm just going to run up to the local drugstore and I'm just going to buy one off the shelf. That's only $20. Why do I need this one? We're going to answer that question, by the way. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you there's a stark difference between what you're finding on the shelves of your Walgreens or CVS and one that's actually made for you. By the way, don't let the dogs get them. We'll explain that coming up. Don't go anywhere.
I love working here. You know, I come in here and I feel positivity with everybody, down from the housekeepers up to the CEO. Our bosses actually get on the floor with us, help us out. I've been in plenty work nursing homes, and being here, it makes me feel very happy all the time. Being around these residents is amazing things. I might cry. Working with them, it's like my grandma and my grandpa. When I'm at home, and I can come here, I feel free. When I'm having bad days, I can just walk in here and boom, I'm back into a happy place. They make everything happy and joyful, and they all respectful. They do put an impact on my life big time. That's it. I mean, yeah, that's the best memories. Hey, this is my place, this is my home.
Welcome back. Thanks again to tuning in to the Real Monica Adams Show on this Medical Monday. Good morning, Babs. I see you. So as you are tuning in, you missed Dr. Jessica, so be sure to go back to the beginning of the show. She really breaks down what was happening, what she saw once the scan was done. Abraham Whitehead and the entire team at Fenton Family Dentistry taking care of you. Sierra was the one that was working with me. She's such a doll, by the way. You said she's in Yellowstone right now?
Yeah, family vacation time.
She deserves it. Your team does wonderful. So when we are, and I want to know from you, are you like me where you are just constantly thinking, this is why we're supposed to meditate, so we calm ourselves? I was in the hot tub last night. It was a perfect way for me to, I know, hey, I hooked you up. You guys got to get one. Last night I thought, this is the way, there's some new things. You and I are both coaches, and so trying to get people to calm themselves, trying to teach people to pull the stress out of their lives. I don't know if you all can see this, but this was last night.
Oh,
Right,
does
so-
not look very stressful at all.
That is the hot tub. Yes, I was just and by the way, they always talk about colors. You know, we're talking a lot about red light therapy in life, but I let it change reds and pinks and purples and blues, and I was centering on it, right? Centering myself, calming, so that I would not be grinding my teeth. And I woke up and I didn't feel it as bad. So I'm
Good.
trying to do everything I can while you are making this for me, and I stress that going into the break. Yes, I could run up to the store and say, well, what's the difference, Abram, between this one's only $20, and then this one you guys are making, it's going to take a few weeks. What's the difference?
It's a great question. We get it pretty frequently, actually. The biggest difference, you know, from a patient standpoint, because this is sometimes just a reality, it just financially, it's a lot less expensive. So I will just say, if that's what you can afford, good. Please, something is better than nothing. But the biggest thing is that it's just not going to function as well. You heat them up and you put them in your mouth and you bite down, and it kind of forms to your teeth. It will often fall out in the middle of the night. And so when we were talking about you've got your doggies, and I mean, I will just tell you that anything that sits in your mouth for a period of time, for some reason, it must smell like candy or steak to dogs, because they eat anything like retainers, you name it. They will eat it, and that can be dangerous there because they're thick and bulky.
Yeah.
The ones that we make in our office, we do have a variety of the ones that we use depending on how a patient presents and what doctor's looking at. But one of the ones that we use is a full coverage kind of mouth guard on the upper and the lower. It's a very dense, hard material, and it's very slippery. And the reason that can be important is it has to be tough so it can withstand the pressure of both sides of the teeth. But we want it slippery so that the teeth don't like lock into those grooves and allow you to really create force.
Right.
We want it to be kind of slippery so that the teeth can kind of slide a little bit more efficiently without clamping down.
Okay.
And so that can be very beneficial as well.
Now, this is something we discussed in the office that is the route I'm going to go. However, And again, as you saw with some of the video, there are other issues that were popping up. And so it's not going to realign some of the things that have already happened. This could be, actually, Dr. Jessica says it in one of the videos, this could be a Band-Aid, right? Are we putting a Band-Aid on something? So the other option, and some people don't know what Invisalign is. The other option was, do you want to do Invisalign? I came back, and it's funny because they were like, wow, Monica's hyper aware. And I'm like, well, this is the industry I've been in. So I hear every little, like, when I look back at shows and go, oh, where did that come from? What's that little noise, right? I'm just focused on it. Yeah. So they were saying sometimes when people first do Invisalign, to them, they feel like they have a lisp. To others, they're like, nobody even hears it. And I said, yeah, see, I hear it. I do. I hear it. And so I'm like, right now, I think it would bug me while I'm interviewing you. I'd be like,
oh, I can't do it.
But at the same time, I don't want to be causing more harm. So they did all stress. Monica, you're not like if you all thought I had severe issues, right away you would say, I'm not even going to do this little Band-Aid. Yeah. But for right now, and then we will continue to revisit and say, am I...
I mean, here's the thing. I think, and so I will say the way that the office has run, we've been through different versions of how we practice and how we run our business. The current model really is, I think this is important to point out, I think it's one of the reasons people get really frustrated with dentists is that they come out very passionate about something and they're like, you've got to do this because we see it every day and we kind of know what's on the other side of not fixing it.
Right.
And so that's concerning to us. But from the patient standpoint, a lot of times it can feel like, dang, man, like I just got hard sold Invisalign, or I just got hard sold that crown, or whatever it is.
I didn't feel that at all, and I want to stress that I didn't. I very much saw them as the authority, saying, "Here's what Invisalign could do." At the same time, Sierra kept saying, "Monica, you have a beautiful smile. This all looks really, really good. There's just some little changes that are happening here, and down the line, we don't want to have it to be a big problem or even a costly problem, right?
Absolutely.
5, 10, 15, 20 years.
And what I always tell people is that we're going to treat you just like family.
Yeah.
And so if you were my sister, I would say, Monica, if it's important to you, it's important to me.
Right.
If it's not important to you, not important to me.
Yeah.
However, as your brother, I reserve the right to say, Monica, I know this decision that you want to make, and I'll support you. However, I need to know in my heart, so I can sleep at night, that you've considered these factors.
Right, right.
And then the decision is yours.
Yes.
Now, there are some areas of dentistry where ethically and legally we can't provide other solutions if we know that there's a root problem. But for the most part, we really try and give patients the right, because it is theirs, it's their body, their teeth, to make decisions about what they feel is the best course of action, and try and support them the best that we can.
And you've seen some incredible transformations. You were just saying you just got done with a pretty severe surgery.
Oh, it was so exciting. Patient came in and she's got a pair of dentures that just don't fit and won't wear them because they hurt and they don't work. And so over the weekend, we were able to provide a patient with a surgery that allows us to place implants in her mouth and then create a denture that literally screws on to the implants. So they only come out like once a year for us to clean it. Otherwise, they stay locked in there and they work just like teeth. It's just a great moment because you see someone that is not functioning well in life. They can't eat. They're not being healthy because you know how important good intake can be.
Sure.
And emotionally, the idea of not being able to have teeth when you go out to church or grocery shop or see friends, it's just very rewarding sometimes to see these solutions really change dramatically someone's trajectory in life.
Well, we always talk about the transformation of anything in life, and you get to see that end result. It's so rewarding and fulfilling to everybody's heart that had a role in that. Yeah, I can't even imagine that. So again, for all of you that may, and I love the fact that Abram said you're finding more and more that are grinding their teeth throughout the day. Again, if you regularly feel tight, and Dr. Jessica did feel into my jaw, and she's like, yeah, it is. You can, especially, she was saying in one of the videos, she's like, is it all right side? I can actually feel right now. You can feel it's tighter on my right side. And I said, but that would make sense. I think a lot of it comes from the car accident I had, that so much has created a problem on my right side.
Another thing we didn't talk about today, too, is, we can actually do Botox in
mentioned that,
these
that's right.
masseter muscles, and it kind of just knocks them out of the game a little bit. I mean, you can still chew and do all the things, but when you're in those like clinchy grinding moments, your muscles just aren't as strong and as active, and it can actually create relief from that activity and give the opportunity. Sometimes the brain will kind of forget the habit because it can't do it for a little bit.
And so if somebody were to have that done, that lasts for how long?
It depends. Some people's muscles metabolize Botox a lot faster than others. I generally, Botox, a company will say it lasts 3 months. I generally tell people 6 months for this type of thing. That would be what I would be thinking about your interval of use, just because most of the time what I have seen, and again, not a doctor, but just patients don't become symptomatic right after that 3-month mark.
Yeah.
And just in medicine, generally doctors are looking at doing the least to get the most, right? I don't want to give you more if
Right.
it's not needed.
Right.
So
Well, and by the way, can you define what is TMJ, by the way? And how does it?
it's a disorder, and you could do like 2 episodes on TMJ. I mean, it's really impressive the different ways that the body can have dysfunction. It's kind of like knee pain. I said, what's knee pain? I mean, it could be your hips,
Right.
it could be your adductors, it could be,
Multiple
your
levels of
calf, it could be the way your foot is, rotating. So it's very complex, but it can be muscular. It can be from your hard tissues, like your bone. Like sometimes that little node in the back is misshapen, or your tendons and ligaments that are holding everything together back there are, too short, or maybe have some micro tears. It can be a lot of different things.
So again, how many of you suffer from that? It's frustrating, right? It's frustrating, and then you're like, why can't I relax? And there's a lot of things that obviously that can be done with that. Let me see here. Joe just said, okay, there's a couple of comments coming in. Let me make sure that you are all heard. So, Highland, I see you. Karen, red light therapy, okay. Oh, yeah, Karen's got a bad connection. She's had some connection issues. It's at your house, by the way. You need to get that checked. I've done braces back in high school in the mid-'70s, Invisalign in 2001, and 2 separate nighttime mouth guards over the past 30 years. The mouth guards are way too thick for me. Invisalign at night was more comfortable, something to consider. Very
love
good.
it. Yep.
There you go. I mean, drop the mic, Joe. You said it right there. Breaking a molar where a filling went bad and having the tooth removed helped with TMJ. So you understand, TMJ is a serious issue, and so if it, a lot of people think of it only right here, but it radiates down into multiple levels.
And it can create a feedback loop too. So, I mean, there are people that have TMJ issues, and then they go to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor's like, bro, your back is jacked, and then they get adjusted, and then all of a sudden, this starts to fade back away because you're not getting these like nerve feedback loops between, something that's happening back there, and it will create an overactive muscle here as a way to try and overcompensate or stabilize.
Well, I'm interested. So you guys are making this individual one for myself. It takes about how long?
About 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will do a follow-up, and then when do you think I will start noticing a difference? Within a few weeks, a month?
I mean, you will probably notice a pretty immediate difference. Like when you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, you'll have less of that almost immediately.
Okay.
So.
And do you think it's going to take a little bit for me to get used to having it in my mouth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm used to going to sleep and waking up and going, okay, relax, Monica.
I mean, anybody that has had to sleep with something in their mouth, you just don't feel as cute,
Well, hey, I told you, Jim's going to bed. He's going to be asleep before I ever put this thing in my mouth. Right.
So,
because Jessica did ask me, did you ever have any orthodontics or whatever? And I was like, no. So this will be very new.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it'll be worth it.
Absolutely. That is what matters. Absolutely. Okay, so our devotionals. What are you feeling today? 100 Days to Freedom from...
Healing.
Okay, you want healing.
Let's
100
do
days
some
of healing.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I like that. Once again, folks, if you have not been in or made the call, Fenton Family Dentistry, they are located at 552 Old Smiser Mill Road in Fenton. Give them a call. Again, some of these things that we're talking about, or maybe it's something that we haven't discussed that you want us to cover on a future Medical Monday. 636-326-7633. Again, on social media at Fenton Family Dentistry or at fentonfamilydentistry.com on their website. Carrie said, I didn't realize I grind my teeth until I was scanned and saw the wear on my teeth. I'm now doing Invisalign to correct my bite to prevent further wear problems. There you go. Good job. Kristen said, is TMJ hereditary?
I'm not qualified to answer that question.
Let's ask that one to Dr. Jessica. We'll take that and we will table it for our next time. I promise you, I'm going to put it down in my notes because I always like to carry notes forward. Thank you. I found the toothpaste and mouthwash made by the dentist. It's right here, by the way. I just put it on set. This is what we're talking about. Made by dentists, and they carry that. Yeah, he has some here.
It's good stuff.
Yes. And yeah, actually, it's not as foamy but he actually told me that that's not actually a good thing.
Well, sodium lauryl sulfate is the chemical that they put in soaps or toothpaste, you name it, to be foamy. And it turns out it's actually really terrible for your skin.
Look at.
So
see, we didn't know these
don't have
things.
it.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Again, any questions you have, we will talk about that, by the way. We'll carry that over into next month. And if there's anything you want Dr. Jessica to cover, we may do those in a taping. But if you have questions, I will ask those questions to her when we interview her. Okay, he wants us to heal. 100 days of healing when we return.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long-term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
All right, we want to heal. It's perfect. Perfect combination for what we're talking about today. As we wrap up with our devotional 100 Days of Healing from Stephen Arterburn, heaven is our lifeblood. We're on day 35 already. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. This is Romans 8, verse 18. Heaven, like the lifeblood of Christianity, it's the place Jesus came from and will take us back to, and the place we bring others by sharing his story. Yet so many of us go through our lives with little or no thought about what happens after our earthly death. Think about this. We spend time instead on daily activities, responsibilities. That's understandable. However, if we never think of heaven or long for it, we're potentially missing out on all God has for us right here. Meditating on eternity spent in the presence of a perfect God, where will we be free from the constraints that bind us, can encourage our hearts and embolden us to share more freely about the hope of Jesus. Similarly, difficult emotions and experiences can be redeemed when we focus on the eternal home that our heart is longing for. The next time you feel pain, either emotional or physical, concentrate on the promises in Scripture about heaven and notice how it actually calms and helps you. The best we can hope for in this life is a peek at the shining realities ahead, yet a glimpse is enough. It's enough to convince our hearts that whatever sufferings and sorrows currently assail us aren't worthy of comparison to that which waits over the horizon. Here's your prayer. Heavenly Father, most days I forget about eternity. Instead, dwell on the temporary pangs and pains of this life. Give me a fresh heavenly perspective, increase my longing to be with you, and bring others along with me for eternity. Amen to that. And by the way, I don't know how many of you had a chance to go to the crossing. If you go to the crossing, if not, maybe try check it out. Our past guest we've had on twice was there as their guest pastor. David Hawkins Ooh, he lit up that stage yesterday. I'm going to tell you right now, look up Pastor Hawkins and maybe get a chance to go to his church, which is Living the Word Church in Illinois. Really, really wonderful preacher for sure. Abram, thank you so much again for coming in.
Thank you, Monica. It was a pleasure as always.
Looking forward. So maybe we are about a week or so away from me getting that. I'll do some reels. You'll see it on the show, and we'll do a follow-up the next time we come on. We've got a Testament Tuesday on tap for you tomorrow, Wellness Wednesday, and then on Thursday, we are going to feature Kaufman Outdoors. We finally get a chance to sit down with Mark Kaufman. By the way, we are still in mowing season. A lot of people that are having some issues with their lawnmowers, etc., but they are transitioning, getting ready for the tractors. If you're looking for a tractor, you're looking for anything outdoors, please do us a favor and stop in Sullivan, Missouri to Kaufman Outdoors. They have those Bad Boy and Exmark and Spartan mowers, as well as the tractors, the open and closed cab styles. Really cool e-bikes that are there for those of you that are interested in recreational, or hunters like to use these e-bikes now instead of using those side-by-sides. They actually created their own at Kaufman Outdoors. Check them out at 141 North Service Road West in Sullivan, Missouri. Kaufman Outdoors. And I can tell you right now, we've got some really fun reels coming up that we did. You know my goofiness.
Oh boy,
Just
here
wait.
we go.
Just wait. You may have seen the one already where I was on the lawnmower. Now we're going to level it up even more. And by the way, Mark is the husband to Jan Kaufman at the Porch, where, yes, the Porch is in Wildwood. Just a beautiful couple all together. So theporchwildwood.com. Get in there, 16957 Manchester Road. Beautiful stuff as you transition out of summer and you're getting ready for fall. You'll see this all change up to really beautiful fall looks. In fact, we might even do a transformation right here in our studios. Look for that, theporchwildwood.com. All right, folks, thank you so much. Remember what we always tell you, dream big. If you're feeling down in the dumps, you think that you're not worthy, you are, but you got to believe in yourself. We believe in you, okay? And that's the kindness we can show you. It's the greatest be in life. Be kind, and God bless.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Kaufman Outdoors and The Porch in Wildwood.